The views and opinions of this program are those of the host, guests, and callers. There is substantial risk of loss in trading futures and options, which you should carefully consider prior to trading. Today's episode of Market Talk is brought to you by Growmark FS. Keeping up with the latest in ag is a challenge, to say the least, but there are experts nearby ready to help. You'll find them at your local FS. You can trust them to bring you customized agronomic, grain, and energy solutions born of the latest thinking. That's because FS specialists receive continuous training that keeps them current on the latest trends, practices, and technologies. So you'll get local expertise that's both exceptional and up to date. Visit fssystem.com to learn how FS is bringing you what's next. And welcome back to Market Talk as we're broadcasting live here today at Dakota Fest in Mitchell, South Dakota. And joining us now on the phone here as we fight some technical issues. Sometimes we have those here when we are live and remote and on location, but still happy to have him with us here today. Jacob Burks with agmarket.net. Jacob, thanks for being back on Market Talk with me, my friend. How are you?
It's good to be here, Jesse. It's my mom always said I had a face for radio, so here we are. Yeah. So your listeners may be happier.
You're good, buddy. You're good. Well, we pick on you on a day when the market's rough go in the market trade on Tuesday. Really just a general risk-off tone across the board, whether we're talking grains, livestock, energies, etc. Seems like a lot of economic worries kind of drove the computers and the algos lower on Tuesday. I think that's the best place to start. A lot of Chinese worries with their yuan moving lower, the Russian ruble, etc. That just kind of felt like it opened the floodgates. That, and I'll throw in there too, better than expected crop condition ratings on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, you can kind of keep piling some of that stuff on there. You're talking about Argentina potentially removing import taxes. You got raising interest rates in Russia, lowering interest rates in China because their economy is just not getting stimulated back since COVID. So you got a lot of those global things that did cause some fear in all of our commodities. And at one point today, before the grain market started really falling off, I mean, you looked up and you saw $2 lower in the crude oil. You saw the stock market down 300-something points, while the dollar was down 20 points, and while the gold was down, $5 to $10. So you couldn't make sense. Nothing was working. You had feeder cattle and live cattle and hogs, all three down. And so nothing was really, trading off of each other or trading in any type of normal pattern. It was just, hey, we're going down. And I think that actually flown over in, we broke some support into the corn and beans both, and just the sell-offs continued, the bloodbath continued today.
Yeah, you mentioned some of those support levels, and one that I think a lot of us were really watching closely was December corn. 481 was the July low, I believe, and we broke through that on Tuesday, and now the question I think is do we end up pushing lower now that we've broken that key support? We didn't finish too far off of that 481 level, Jacob, but I think there's some worry that we could have some downside pressure here after we broke through that support.
Yeah, you're right, Jesse. I mean, if you look at corn just by itself here, when we traded through that 481 level, I think I don't have the exact numbers, but the volume increased significantly. You saw a lot of trading going on. That was a very heavily watched and anticipated level. And beyond that, when we settled at 475, but if you watch the 5 minutes after the settlement, we ended up trading down below 474. I think our lowest tick there was 473, and that was all after the close. So I'm curious to see how the trade sees this. I think it's a negative factor. I think you should. We probably could be anticipating a little bit more. I mean, the one saving thing, I'm trying to find anything I can find positive about this. And one of the things, if you look at the trend line that we saw from the May lows through the July lows, we still didn't break that. So we're kind of sitting on top of that trend line. Maybe you're trying to find anything that people could come in here and find some reason to buy it. Obviously, news is going to continue to trade. It looks like the fear of seeing the Ukraine-Russia situation, bomb ports, and have to come to us with exports, that hasn't really stimulated anything in the wheat or the corn lately. So right now it's all technical, and it doesn't look very healthy.
No, it doesn't look very healthy at all. And, I think about this too. Seasonally, this is not a great time of year for our markets here. You get kind of the summer doldrums, so to speak, whether we're talking corn, beans, wheat markets, etc. So I think you pile on some of that seasonality as well, Jacob, and that just doesn't help here with an ugly demand picture and some of these other macro factors that are out there.
You're right. I mean, it's very, very hard to rally a corn or bean market in August. I mean, beans maybe a little bit more so with if weather is a little bit hot and dry. But I would say that when you look at what we saw was at 17 and 18, the very low tick of the market was August 30th. And a lot of times, you can blame that on deferred pricing and wait until the last minute, and that's kind of we just traded lower into the end of August. And here I am trying to find a reason to come in here and buy it, and you're in the last, the middle of August. It's just not typical. Seasonally, it's hard to rally here.
Well, I guess one bright spot, I see some green on the screen in soybean oil, so I guess we could say that was a good spot on the day Tuesday, Jacob. Probably the only one, honestly. But overall, just a tough demand picture here is a big key. And, I know we're going to have various crop tours coming up here, both private and public, over the next couple of weeks. That should give us an idea. Maybe the one bullish story we could find in these grains is a hot and dry weather forecast ahead in the 6 to 10 and the 8 to 14 day.
Absolutely. I mean, that's you look at, well, first of all, you forgot the oats, and oats knows, right? It was positive on the day too. So maybe that's along with bean oil, maybe you can add that in there.
Sure.
You look at this weather. I mean, we're going to see triple digits here. I think middle of next week here in the southern part of Wisconsin. So I don't want to rule out the fact that there can be things that stimulate some upward movement. The problem is it's just going to have to fight through a lot more technicals. But yeah, you're going to see some dryness starting in, which we've had some awesome rains across a large part of the Midwest. I was right here locally. I'm in the southwest corner of Wisconsin, and there has been, we've been on the edge of being too dry several different times and caught timely rains. And this week we had a very good rain. So those areas have been catching those rains. Now we're going to have to fight through a little bit of heat, and I think these crops, they look good from the road, but it's going to put a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes on some of these crop tours that we're going to start seeing here in the next couple of weeks that I think can be market movers there, along with some of that heat. So there we go. Trying to find something else positive.
Exactly. We're trying to find something else positive. We're talking with Jacob Burks with agmarket.net here today on Market Talk as we broadcast live from Dakota Fest in Mitchell, South Dakota. Jacob, let's go over to livestock trade and talk cattle and hogs a little bit. A down day there. Typically we see corn lower. You figure cattle are going to move higher, but I know we've had a bit of a relationship between the stock market and livestock here as of late, and it seems like that relationship kind of won out on the day Tuesday.
You're right. I mean, like I said at the beginning, whenever we were watching macroeconomic news flow into the commodities here coming, through the evening into the morning trade, everything was negative, and that stock market was down to 300 points right now, and it's just flown over into this cattle market and couldn't find any stimulus. We did trade feeder cattle positive throughout the day, but even with the corn market being down almost double digits there, the feeder cattle had a hard time staying positive. Ended up closing this thing 30, 40 cents lower.
Now, looking at feedlot country, I know we got a cattle on feed report coming up Friday. I have to think traders might be getting a little bit, I don't want to say skittish or anything, but maybe just cautious here this week. We haven't had a whole lot of cash activity, really. It's been a very interesting cash trade the last few weeks. Just feels like traders, everyone in this cattle market could maybe just be a little cautious here this week ahead of that cattle on feed report.
Yeah, I think I saw the result or the early estimates coming out. Like 98% there. Place, that's kind of a question mark there, but they're under 95% anticipated of last year. I think when I look at the cattle market and what they've done, I think the cash market has really controlled the box beef. I mean, these packers have done a pretty good job of slowing down the kill, backing some feedlots up a little bit, and keeping that and turning that box beef price around. I think The choice was at 340, went all the way down right at $3. Now we're back. We've stayed here and we've kind of climbed back up to 305, I believe, yesterday. So it's not by slowing the keel down. We've done a good job. They've been really reluctant to go into the cash market and be aggressive, and have been waiting week to week. And I think that you'll continue to see that. If I just hope that these guys can hold on long enough that we can keep box beef moving higher. It's hard to watch that play out if the economic news continues to be negative. So I would say that you still pins and needles. It's still day to day right now, watching this cash market and how it reflects over into these cattle futures.
Hogs, real quick. August off the board now. The cash index still up around 102, while October hogs 78, 79. So it's going to be. I feel like that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. There, does one converge to the other, or what happens in that hog market? I'm interested to see what happens here, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that spread trying to trade. October was trying to stay stronger most of the morning here. It was reluctant to follow the December contract even further. But realistically, with these products falling off the way they've have, I mean, the pork cutout futures are down, significantly here today too. It's really going to be hard to see that. I guess any type of movement up, the October, catch up with where we're at on the index. I think you'll start to see that fall off pretty heavy.
Jacob, I know folks can reach out to you and the team there at agmarket.net if they have questions, want to talk about their marketing plan and more. You guys have a ton of great resources available online, or they can give you a phone call. How can they get a hold of you guys?
Well, we encourage everybody to look at our 30-day trial of our agmarket.net intel. That will get all of our reports. And, of course, from our Contact Us page, you can look at each individual broker up and give them a shout. Phone numbers will be right there. But take a look at that free trial of our intel. Yeah, pretty good stuff that goes out there.
Fantastic. Agmarket.net is where you can find them. Jacob Burks with agmarket.net. Always appreciate the time, my friend. Thanks for joining us here on Market Talk today, and we will talk to you again real soon. Thanks so much.
Hey, Jesse. Thanks for having me out there. You take care of that corn palace. Don't let these markets knock it down.
I'll do my best. That's Jacob Burks with agmarket.net joining us here today on Market Talk. We'll be back with more coverage from Dakota Fest right after this.